To be honest, I have been struggling with how I'm going to show up now online and in my business with 2 littles to raise. They won't let me be productive in the same way that I used to before at my desk, but they do let me cook and bake and clean. We deep cleaned our towels together the day that I filmed this video. My toddler helped and it seemed like he was having a blast. This season has been an adjustment for me, even though I was already working part-time before having my second and even got it down to 4 days a week before I even had my first. This isn't exactly what I planned. I thought I would want to work a lot more, and while I do want to be able to work a little bit more than I have been able to lately, it's just not what I planned. And I know that I'm probably not alone in all of these thoughts, but through the mess that is going on in my head right now, as I worry and think about how little I'm getting done at my desk, I'm realizing that maybe right now it isn't about what I do. Maybe this just isn't the season that I focus on personal career moves or big accomplishments. Instead, maybe it's about who I raise and how they're raised and the life that we get to shape for them, and giving myself the chance to slow down, to recover, to simplify, and to create space for daily play. Isn't that the craziest part of this motherhood thing? Like, you get to give them happy, full days of play, day after day. Both of my babies, when they're little, have a tendency to fall asleep literally smiling. It's the cutest, baby, content kind of smile, and I do not take that lightly. So this is a small glimpse at what my days look like right now. On a typical day, I am on and needed all day long. It's the hardest I've ever worked and the most rewarding, which makes it interesting that I still feel like a failure most days, especially on the days that I don't get to my desk to work. But there are a few things that help me feel better about myself, and I try to make these non-negotiables regardless of how our day goes. Because the real point to all of this is that if you're in a season where you're struggling between the opposing forces of wanting to work more but also have littles to raise, maybe you're not failing on the days that you don't get to work. You're probably doing a really good job, and you just need to be a little kinder to yourself. Of my favorite non-negotiables for my family in this season is homemade food. We are paying attention to what we consume and the cost of pre-made foods, both financially and in the ingredients that we don't want. I've been making all of our own bread items for that reason for about 6 months now, so we don't typically buy bread, baked goods, buns, wraps, naan, granola treats, all of that kind of thing. I try to make as much as possible from scratch. So that means that I spend a lot of time in the kitchen with the boys, and that's why you see the spot in our kitchen in this video so much. On this morning, I made sourdough pancakes, mostly plain ones with some maple syrup, but I made a few with chocolate chips at the end too. And sometimes we do sourdough waffles, oatmeal bakes, sugar-free muffins, egg skillets, all really easy things that can be prepped the day before most of the time, so that when I do get a chance to work, all of that is already done. Of the scratch-made food has made this next non-negotiable a thing, and that is cleaning as I go. You see me cleaning a lot in this video. Nothing makes me more anxious than a messy home, and I hate having to play catch up after bedtime, so I do as much as I can with the boys around instead of waiting for them to sleep. Regardless of what I'm working on or how badly I want to be productive, some days the boys always take priority. If someone is crying, I go to them. If they need more support, I adjust my expectations for my to-do list. That is a definite non-negotiable. It's one that forces me to let things go that I wanted to do, but again, shaping their little minds and worlds and having them know that I'll always be there for them is important to me. One of the non-negotiables that's just for me is my morning bone broth hot chocolate. That's what's in my cup at the beginning of this video, and I started this routine when I was pregnant with my second. My midwives recommended more iron because I was extremely low, and I found the level of supplementation that they wanted for me to be a challenge, so I looked for other ways to add more iron to my diet. I noticed a huge difference with bone broth on an empty stomach, plus it forced me to wait a while to have caffeine instead of immediately when I wake up. It's bone broth, collagen powder, cocoa powder, and a splash of real maple syrup, and it is so good. I also spend a lot of time playing on the ground, or playing in general between loads of laundry. I can't even reasonably show you everything in a day because there's a lot of time I prefer to keep off camera, like the hours spent feeding my baby, which is a full-time job on its own. Bouncing and rocking and helping my toddler work through crucial learning moments like boundaries and emotions. If you are at the toddler stage, you know what I am talking about. Thank you! So nice of you to share. Yeah, he's got the mixer. He's saying thank you. So as you can see, I am very much in the trenches of motherhood some days, which I'm sure some of you can relate to. I want my boys to see a mom that works hard, is intelligent, and has leveraged that brain power to build something bigger than herself, and also to make a real impact. I want them to feel included in the busyness though, not like it's just me rushing around trying to get things done. And I want them to see a mom who takes care of herself, even when we are busy. Now let's talk about my work schedule, because like I explained at the beginning of this video, it's been challenging to squeeze in time at my desk over the last few weeks. I have been able to get stuff done here and there, but I'm talking about dedicated chunks of time working at my desk. I've been trying to squeeze in what I can in nap times and around the windows of my husband's workday, but it doesn't always work out as planned. Regardless of how hard I try to coordinate the boys' nap times so they line up to be at the exact same time every single day. I am at my desk, it needs to be 100% focused. I don't want to have to split my attention or jump between tasks because efficiency is required and focused work is a non-negotiable in order to fit as much into these small blocks of time that I have. Also, coffee is necessary, so we always start there, followed by some journaling brain dump style if I haven't had a chance to do that yet. Although I am trying to get back into waking up before the family so I can use that quiet time for journaling instead. So I typically get to focus on work during nap times and in the windows around my husband's workday when we aren't busy as a family or doing dedicated free time. Of course, like everything else you see in this video, I've had to adjust my standards, but I'm proud of myself for making it work and continuing to see results in my business while also learning how to let some shit go. Guess I am accepting that maybe right now isn't my time to scale further. Maybe it's my quiet season, my maintenance season, or the one where I focus on myself and my family over girl bossing harder and more. And maybe that can be okay. But for the most part, I try to keep the bulk of my working hours to when the boys are asleep. Sometimes they wake up from naps when I'm mid-task, so you'll see that I let the baby play solo on his mat for a few minutes while I wrap up, but for the most part, I like to focus when they aren't around. My next and one of my most important non-negotiables is daily movement. I try to move my body in some way every single day, and that doesn't mean that I get to do anything intense or go to the gym regularly like I used to, but I do prioritize walking, hiking, and quick exercises at home, especially in this postpartum period. So it might take me an hour to get through a 17-minute core workout with the boys around, but I will do that work. If I have 15 minutes twice throughout the day, that is worth it to at least try. Outside time is a daily habit or a non-negotiable that we're actually doing as a family this year. In December, I saw that a friend had shared the Instagram page for 1,000 hours outside, which I thought was a really cool initiative, and we decided that we would give it a try this year too. We track the outside time that our toddler gets for now, whether that's with myself or my husband, and even if he doesn't know much about the tracking or the larger goal right now, he absolutely loves to play outside, so I think it's working. We spend a lot of time at parks, on trails, and just hanging out in the backyard. And a perk to this that I've noticed is that the more time you spend outside, the cleaner and tidier your house is through the day. I would love to hear from you. I think that so many of us are struggling with these opposing forces, working versus family, building our businesses versus raising children, how to balance everything, where to focus your energy, and how to just let some shit go, even if it's just for a while. But my hope is that by sharing my own experience, maybe you won't feel so alone, because I know that it helps me to hear from other moms, especially other moms who are working in the way that we do. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you